Few weeks back, some news were flying all over social media stating that Burkina Faso army went into villages and were unaliving citizens because they were wearing the Burkinabé uniform and they were spotted and identified as Burkina Faso military. And it was alleged that Ibrahim Traoré sent his military men to unalive people. He is the sole proprietor behind the terrorism that has been going on in his country and thereafter. And so many other news like that follow suit. But this happened recently.
We saw UN vehicles coming, but those who were in the vehicle were wearing our uniforms with blue helmets. But since we were under fire, the machine gunner opened fire on the vehicle and stopped it. Someone fired an RPG. The vehicle caught fire at the front, and the two people inside were calling out to us. They were calling us to come over. So I almost told my units, because we had two missing porters, I almost told them, okay, let's go out, let's go save the guys, because people, my soldiers, asked me, aren't those our two comrades? Because they're in a UN pickup vehicle with our blue helmets. Well, we were unsure. But the fire was already spreading to the cab. I said, no, wait. At that point I said, even if they are our comrades, they are collateral damage. The word collateral isn't even finished coming out of my mouth. I found myself waking up underground, and I saw just a black circle in the sky.
What exactly happened in this village located about 20 kilometers from Ouakira?
First, I would like to take this opportunity to express my deepest sympathy to the victims of karma and to all victims of This is not the first time this has happened. And I think that currently, if I'm not mistaken, the DJM and other members of the executive are meeting with certain organizations to explain a number of things to them. There are also cases that are already before the military justice system. We must wait for the investigators to do their work, and people should avoid jumping to conclusions.
As head of state, how did you feel when you learned about this tragedy?
For those who know me, of course it was heartbreaking. It hurts to see something like this. There is to say, but justice must be served. We have to prepare to find those who did this. Just as with all the other tragedies that have already happened. So the military justice system, we keep pushing them, urging them to move quickly so that we can take action. Often it's difficult for them. There are certain areas where abuses have taken place that they can't easily access, but we make the effort. Often the army makes the effort to bring them there, to try to interview people, to investigate and all that.
So there are accusations being directed at the defense and security forces regarding what happened all in Karma. What do you say about that, Mr. President?
Okay, I see that this is really drawing a lot of attention. As for the accusations, as I said, we must avoid making accusations. No French soldiers should die here. We'll handle Burkina Faso. French soldiers coming to die on our soil. They just need to leave us alone. We'll fight in Burkina Faso. We are mature enough. We are aware of our situation. I want them to go back home. Defending their homeland, we will defend our motherland. We will not tolerate media trying to mislead our populations, trying to manipulate, to engage in subversive propaganda. We will not accept it, so we are suspending it outright. If tomorrow other media outlets talk, we'll suspend them. They don't speak on the ground, they sit back and imagine things. If you followed the reason why we suspended certain media, it's still unfortunate. There you go, media that seek to pit people against each other and stir up war. We won't agree. But they also close the media, don't have same rights. We are all human beings. If we have the same rights, Africa will have its place. We need to give Africa the place it deserves because it's still a great continent. More than 1.5 billion inhabitants, I think. We should have a more significant place in the concert of the United Nations. And also to be respectful in everyone's eyes. We no longer want people to interfere in our affairs. We are mature enough to understand and live in good harmony with our people so that we can discuss what is good for us and what is not good for us People need to understand that in a scattered formation it will be difficult. We will fight, but Africa needs to unite, and we unite more. We are good.
That is it. They can't be our people and yet join forces with our enemies to try to destroy us. Yet they will keep spreading fake news about this country and this president. Yet they make it look like Ibrahim Traoré doesn't have any good intentions for the people so long as he's not a democratic leader. They are wearing the Burkina Faso uniform but on blue helmets and in a UN vehicle. What message does that send to you? Thank God he was able to be sensitive at that point and not fall into the scheme of these people. Mind you, these are Burkinabés that have sold themselves to these people, whoever they are, to be used by them in terrorizing the livelihood of their people. These are indigents who have determined that they want to become terrorists and threats to their own land. These are people that have sold and exchanged their dignity, their peace, their livelihood for peanuts. Mind you, everybody is going to be unalive or at the appropriate time. This young man, who happens to be the youngest president in Africa and in history, is changing lives, changing the narrative, and exposing them in a way they don't want because the enlightenment is becoming too rapid that they can handle. Yet our people choose to allow them skin them and fall into their trap to be used as puppets, as instruments. What if Ibrahim Traoré ran into that scene thinking these are Burkinable soldiers and trying to rescue them from that scenario? What if that vehicle was not tagged UN? Maybe he would have run into that scene and the rest would have been history. What if, what if, what if? So there are still Burkinabés and there are still Africans living in this continent that don't like what Ibrahim Traoré is doing. We've seen that in the recent video I just uploaded on my page that talks about how some religious leader came up to say Ibrahim Traoré is not the chosen one, he's not a democratic leader, and a whole lot of things. I will leave the link in the description. And I'll also leave the link to the video that talks about how they keep spreading fake news and information. You will find it somewhere in the description. Ibrahim Traoré was able to be sensitive and discern, guys. Whenever you are in a situation, whenever you are met with a circumstances that looks threatening, that looks like you must take action now, if you don't decide now, something bad and terrible is going to happen right now. Be careful. Careful to take immediate action. Be careful to decide when you are happy, when you are sad, when you are confused. Learn to be calm before you take decisions. Learn to be calm. Learn to allow the Supreme Being guide you in everything you do. If Ibrahim Traoré was not a calm man, if he wasn't sensitive, if he wasn't carefully observing what was happening there, then he would have been a history by now. Learn from Ibrahim Traoré. There are so much to learn from this young president. Just say a word of prayer for him in the comment section and leave your thoughts also. Subscribe if you haven't. Thank you for watching till this time. We'll meet on the next one.